Okay, fourth, fifth take in trying to optimize this YouTube garbage. I want to go over a few things in addition to some next steps. Although I wouldn't say I'm a content creator, just things I want to go over, trying to detail them optimally as best as I can. A couple of things I do want to go over are things that I've been doing, since moving out and graduating. And the first being, I signed up for a half or a 70.3 Ironman that I've been training for since like 2 months ago. Hopefully I can show it. Yeah, the Ironman in Augusta, Georgia. Kind of forced to sign up, although the training is not too bad. Yeah, just the bike I've already had what is it called? Experience running. I've always ran. Biking, I biked like during the pandemic pretty often. I think the most was like 60, 70 miles, which isn't too bad. It's just the swimming part that's a little cancer. So in signing up, it's like $500, which was a surprise. In addition to the swimming portion actually isn't too bad over the time. I've only been doing it for a month and a half, I can outline. In addition to someone who's already run the course has already said the swimming is downhill, so I'm not really concerned about that. The only thing, so some progress there is a mile of swimming I'm already at. I can already do 73 miles of biking and running. I think I'm at like 15 miles. So it's just combining all of them, which is so cool. Again, another excuse as to why I haven't been creating content as regularly. And also in addition to laziness, but that's going to be a reoccurring theme. An update on the 3D guns, or the 3D printed fire weapons. I just rebuilt, so I guess I'll do the Mod-9 first, even though in the script it says FGC-9. An update on that is, although I had to, it's complete, although I'm still working out the kinks with the bolt and the firing pin. The firing pin is complete. The bolt is complete. It's just sitting in another drawer. In addition to, I took the pins out because it's a little wacky. I can make a whole video on the instruction guides, whether I'm just being an idiot or, yeah, it's just wacky, honestly, building this thing. Because especially since the retainer for, I'll show freak. I'll cut that out. The retainer had to be cut, and so it's unevenly aligned. I'll show that in the other camera when in post editing. Let me put that to the side. But I am working on the firing pin, the bolt, and the trigger. The lower isn't done. It just needs the upper. It needs to be done, which probably will take a month at this current pace, even though it's been like 5 months. It was actually, hopefully I can post it or show it here or show it as background. It was completed a month and a half ago, although I kind of lulled on the bolt because the bolt is just weird. Hopefully I can show it. Yeah, it's just, this thing doesn't fit my current bolt, even though it's the one provided by Parts Dispensed. So I've run through like 6 of these things, just breaking them because they break at this part. Actually, I think I should be able to, I'll show it on the after. I'll have to just put show bolt at the post creds. Yeah, it's just a wacky bolt. It's much harder to build than the FGC-9, which is fine, but there's a lot more work to be done. Even just the drilling, like I had to buy a whole separate drill just for the thing. In addition to the FGC-9, excuse the wackiness of it, but I rebuilt it a couple times. It was supposed to be for Twitch, a Twitch theme, but I didn't want to go to the makers because instead of it being in Florida, it was in Pennsylvania. And I'm not going to drive, especially since I have work. Also, we're at the 4-minute mark. I've been experiencing with PETG, and it turned out very well. Just for one maker, you can see the bullets, which is nice. The only thing is the material is tough to print in. It took like 4 or 5 tries to get the mag working. The handguard feels way better. The stock feels the same. This PLA, I got it on discount. It's like this matte red or something. And the handguard or the pistol grip feels good. The handguard feels good, and everything about it feels way better than the previous FGC-9, which is really cool. The only thing that looks a little wacky is I had to use M4 threads for the, I'll show it in the post credits, show M4 and the stock. My stock was breaking at the stock portion. It was still usable, but I didn't notice it until like doing 2 or 3 test shots in the woods that it was starting to break because it wasn't fastened properly. So I had to rebuild everything but the stock or the bolt. Although the blue looks disgusting, I don't feel like doing that whole process again, because that was the hardest part. I do have a mag, but I think provided in the still works. I don't have footage of it shooting, even though I've only been to the range since moving twice. And the first time was with the first design, and the second one was this design. Me and my roommate just didn't happen to, we just weren't recording. Because honestly, I wasn't feeling confident that I would shoot, but it works pretty fine. Mags dumps fine, in addition to, I wish I could, I'll show in depth of all the little stupid things on the gun. For the other camera, but I had my own designs, Twitch related, although it's not purple. And also the stupid sight finder. It's kind of like a scope, but it's what I do, or it's something stupid that I just added. Normally it has a red dot. What else is there? We're moving down the list. Friends in general, networking. I made a couple of friends in Atlanta very fast, in addition to they've been taking most of my time. Hard to record and when you're not at home, when you're hanging out, and so I'm having to like balance that or either stay up later and record. And I've recorded a bunch. It's just editing it and script writing actually takes a lot of time if you don't have an editor, which is something I had no issue with more time back in hometown. What is it called? The next AWS certification. I was supposed to put masters, but I didn't sign up for this semester, but I'm signing up for, or I'm applying for this upcoming season to apply or to take classes in the January. So school isn't, I'm not done with school yet. And yeah, hopefully we can go to Georgia Tech, but I'm not holding my breath. So we may be back in Kennesaw. The AWS security specialty is the next certification I'm going for. I'm kind of capped out in cybersecurity, even though it's not really such a thing. I'm getting bored, not bored, but what is it called? I just want to move on with a new thing before starting the masters, because where there's 1.5 years dedicated to just cybersecurity, I want to branch out in new domains. And this leads me to my second thing. I want to get back into, or I'm getting back into electrical and computer engineering. I don't know if I've said, but my original passion was computer engineering, although how should I say? Gaming was also a passion where I couldn't pursue it because my grades were bad, so I had to switch to cybersecurity. Electrical engineering is more of a focus, although with my upcoming projects, computer engineering is just a side thing, a side passion, I guess. Yeah, it really says although on a much smaller scale, but I'll have to cut that out. Upcoming projects. Honestly, it wasn't until a month or so ago, May 17th, that this Arctos robotic arm was posted, that I wanted to try it, or at least dabble my hands in building it, in addition to seeing if it's applicable, if it's possible. The download isn't too hard. The only thing is you do have to pay 40 euros or something to get the CAD files, in addition to the assembly doesn't look impossible. So I think for my next project, after the Mod-9, I'm going to dabble my hands and at least try to print all the parts, so I'm not having to like chase parts, because a lot of them are on AliExpress, which I'm not too mad about, honestly. The only iffy thing is that some of the parts that I can't find, and so I'm just left having to ghetto-fy it or just figure it out like myself with substitute parts. But this is going to be my next project, in addition to something that I'm working on now, and hopefully I haven't soldered anything, but I want to make, or I'm currently making an Arduino that counts the shots of the FGC-9. So I'll use the Mod-9 as an example. So I have placing an Arduino, a button right below the what is it called? Tab. I had to design it so the button would fit, and this isn't one. It hasn't been printed yet. It fits right underneath the pin, so whenever the hammer strikes, it hits a button that reads the input to an LCD on the gun through an Arduino. Although this is kind of out of my wheelhouse, I've been watching a couple videos and figuring out, how it's going to be powered and how to run the code, which isn't too hard. It's really just something hit button and it counts up, and hold button to reset is all. Trying to think if there's anything else. Shot counter, robotic arm, and Mod-9. that's all of the big things. Oh yes, I have 2 side hustles, one for 3D printing and one for reselling. The 3D printing one, I need to optimize just a little better, and the side hustle, that is very profitable right now. It's actually paying for a good portion of my rent, which I'm blessed to have, although I'm not spending enough time reselling and communicating with customers effectively to have an impact on my, because instead of, really I want YouTube to pay, but it's a process because I'm kind of lazy at it. In addition to my side hustle, with just a few more, like 2 or 3 more hours of extra work, I could have it where instead of 50%, it's 75, and then 100, and then, you know, I'm just working 9 to 5 and that. Although dealing with customers is getting easier, it's just not fun, I'm not gonna lie. Although it pays well. Let's see, profitability and time. Yeah, profitability is a big factor. You know, 50% is fine, but it could be more, and time. I'm not spending enough time interacting with customers. In addition to, I'm trying to, or what makes me nervous about posting is that, also this audio better be good, is when in just doing just general YouTube research, I feel like my content is lackluster, where what is it called? The retention isn't that good or well. I don't really check analytics, but I'm trying to develop background, you know, just not me talking to a camera. Also, I probably should be switching here. Where it's just not me talking to a camera and holding you all's attention. Because as much as I don't really care about the views, I really care about the passion of doing well, and retention is like a huge thing. So I'm going to dabble with a couple of things even outside of, because there's usually script, record, and edit, and then post. So I'm going to delve with background and, you know, to keep you all's attention, like that TikTok, you know, TikTok background, or something like that. I don't know how to really end these, so I'll just say thank you and bye now.